Right.
Hello,
Hello.
hello, Richard, and hello, everyone watching or li li listening. Forget my words out there. um, and today, me and Richard are going to be speaking about Crohn's and autism and our hobbies as well. It's going to be really cool because as me and Richard said before we started, that we said that it's rare to find someone that has Crohn's and autism. And I've been lucky enough to have a few, actually meet a few that have had Crohn's and autism. But it's great. We got Richard here, who's willing to take up some of his time to speak about his journey with Crohn's and autism. So, Richard, thank you for joining me today.
No worries at all, Mason. No worries at all.
Yeah, it's gonna be really fun, and I know this is your third podcast. So I'm glad that you chose mine. So thank you.
It's okay. Yeah, no worries at all. Yeah, great to be on a podcast with someone who's got both autism and Crohn's, like myself.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah. So before we start into that, w- Richard, would you mind just doing a little introduction of yourself? Say a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Yeah. So my name is Richard, and I have both autism and Crohn's. I currently work in a hospital 5 days a week. My hobbies include football, watching sports, even playing football, socialising with friends and family, watching films at home at the cinema, a lot of music as well. Do like going to the gym. I like playing on my PS4 when I get the time. Um, Trying to think if there's anything I've missed. Think that's all I can
Yeah,
think of for what my hobbies are at the moment. I think I've covered most of them
yeah,
really.
yeah. You have. There is a lot there. Like you mentioned about PlayStation. I like gaming as well.
Oh,
Um,
awesome,
yeah, like playing FIFA and that. Sometimes.
nice.
Um, like is it and I think there's a World Cup mode which is going to come to FIFA this week as we're recording it. So that
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. Richard, with the hospital, what is your kind of role then at hospital for you?
Okay. It's an admin job. So I work in the medical records department.
Okay.
Yeah.
But do was that kind of brought on from like having Crohn's then? Because like having Crohn's, that we can maybe get used to the hospital. Is that something that brought an idea of working at a hospital?
Um. I, I don't think so. I mean, the my employers do know I've got Crohn's and autism as well. I think when I first started, I only had Crohn's for about a, a year and 2 months. Um, yeah, obviously I would have had to have put that down on the CV if I remember correctly. But yeah, my manager employees do know I have Crohn's, and you know, yeah, they obviously know if I've got to rush to the loo, I've got to do so, and and that's something obviously I have to do with being a Crohn's sufferer. So
Hmm. Yeah, it's the best place to be, isn't it? Like in the hospital as well. Um, like
yeah,
as a job, so that that is it's very helpful for you.
yeah, it is. Yeah, it is useful to be in a hospital, yeah, like with bit suffering with Crohn's, and and maybe with I don't know, like what with other people, with other disabilities, or anything they may suffer. So, working in an hospital, really. So, yeah, it is actually pretty much the best place to be, really.
Yeah, it is. It is. So when was you diagnosed with Crohn's, Richard?
So I was actually diagnosed when I was 18.
Okay.
So yeah, a long time ago. Yeah, and that was back in 2005.
Okay.
Yeah.
2005. And when was you diagnosed with autism?
I was actually diagnosed when I was about 2, maybe 3 years old.
Okay. So you diagnosed with autism first, and then Crohn's came a bit later on.
Yeah, it came a bit way more later on. Yeah, the Crohn's bit.
Okay. That that's interesting. Because everyone I've met that has Crohn's and autism, they've all got diagnosed with autism first, and then Crohn's later, second.
Yeah, I think yeah, when it comes to I think when yeah, that it does seem quite accurate. Like, if there's people out there that suffer with both autism and Crohn's, the autism would pretty much come be diagnosed first, depending.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Because I was 9 when I was diagnosed with autism, and then I was diagnosed with Crohn's when I was just turned 17, so I was 16, and then a month after my birthday, I was
Uh,
diagnosed.
you were diagnosed on your birthday?
No, no, a month
Uh,
after.
with what? Sorry.
A month after my birthday.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. See the day, I think it was a day or two after my 18th birthday, that's when I started getting symptoms.
Okay.
Yeah. So and but so yeah. Um I see I thought it was just something that I'd eaten, like I don't know, like something didn't really agree with my stomach. So I thought, right, this will probably last about a day or two. But then the third day, uh, on the third day, I was still going to the toilet, and I thought, well, hang on, what's going on here? And I thought, you know what? I'm just gonna see what happens within the next few days. Then a week passed, and I was still going to the toilet, and I think, if I remember correctly, I remember mentioning it to my mom, because my mom's a qualified nurse,
Okay.
and so I mentioned it to her, and I think she said to me it at the time. Um, she said, "Oh, just see what happens, and let me know." And then I gave it another week, still going to the toilet. I said, and then I had to mention it to my mum. Said, "Look, I'm still frequently going to the toilet. I'm having diarrhea, and it's been happening for about 2 weeks now. I don't know what's going on." And um, my mom actually did a bit of research on it, and as to why I was going to the toilet, and she come back with some results, and she printed. I think she printed them off at work, because she came home the one day, and she goes, and she goes, Rich, I printed some off, and as to why you might be going to the toilet, and I've come back with these results as to what you might have. And um, and Crohn's, and I think I think they're on separate papers. So one said Crohn's and one said colitis. It was either that, or it said both Crohn's and colitis. But no, I think there would have been separate papers. So I think that's what I want to say is two separate papers saying one Crohn's, one colitis, and I thought, oh, Gordon Bennett, I might be,
Yeah.
I may be suffering with these, and I had a little read of one of them, and I think it was the Crohn's bit, and it mentioned about cancer, and I
Mhm.
thought, oh, so I thought in my head it was a swear word. Obviously, I don't know if I can use bad language, If I
Mm.
can't, then then obviously I won't use it. But I did think of a bit of a swear word in my head that and and when it mentioned cancer, I said to my mom, I was like, what what's this about mentioning cancer? And I couldn't quite understand it, and she goes, no, I said no, I says like, will it mean I'll get cancer? She goes, no, it doesn't mean you'll get cancer. It just means you're prone to it.
Mm.
And I think that's what it was trying to say. Like I couldn't quite. I think it was trying to explain the way they were explaining on the paper, and she like it and I was just still questioning about it, and like, but no, my mom was there saying, "Oh well, you're gonna be, it means that you're prone to cancer, but obviously you're not diagnosed yet, so that's why we're gonna get you to get you to have a hospital appointment just to see what's going on." And I was like, right, okay, because obviously at that time I was just having these symptoms and didn't quite know what was going on, and so that's when I would have a few hospital, had to have these hospital appointments.
Yeah, yeah, it is very tough, I think, at the start of getting diagnosed with Crohn's, and like you really don't know what's happening. Because like you say, like you're prone to cancer, um, lots of things as well. Which is very annoying because you don't want to be at risk with all these different kind of things. And like for me, like you said about like 2 days like near your birthday, you show some symptoms. Um, I was shown quite some symptoms on my birthday, but I felt fine.
Yeah.
I was more. I lost a lot of weight. I felt like that, and then after my birthday, um, I was really struggling to eat things, and I couldn't eat anything. So I had to go on the liquid diets, which I didn't like either. So, um,
Oh, wow.
that is when I was really really thin and everything, and I wasn't eating, and I got seen. I got diagnosed with a colonoscopy. So
Oh, wow.
that's how I got diagnosed. And then it was pretty fast. It wasn't like a long diagnosed stage. Like it was pretty simple, I guess. But it wasn't simple in the way I had to like push push to get seen and stuff because people weren't like listening, and I had burny feeling in my stomach as well. Blood in stools as well.
Yeah.
So all those kind of symptoms, and like it's very hard when you get all that kind of stuff happen to you.
Yeah. 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 It was the same with me. Like, because I was going to the toilet, I was actually, yeah, I was losing weight, like you, I was losing weight, and I was having blood stools, like, and um, um, I couldn't eat that much either. I think that there were certain foods I could eat. However, it was really difficult, not just because of going through Crohn's, and the fact that I was going to the toilet and I was getting like pains in my stomach. Um, I had these really bad ulcers in my mouth, and eating solid foods that made it really difficult. Soft foods not too bad, but still hurted. It still affected me also mine, but to eat the softer foods was a lot more better than eating the solid foods. And I remember, I remember, I think my mom did me some sort of pasta that was that. Oh, I'm really trying to remember what she put in it, because she said it would help me with the symptoms I was going through, um, I'm really trying to remember what it was. It was like some sort of, it was pasta. It was like some, like yellowy with something in it, but I suppose it did help me at the time. But yeah,
Mm.
but it, yeah, but it was something to do to help me with the symptoms I was going through at the time.
Okay. Yeah, and yeah, it's good that you have stuff like that because I lived on chicken, more or less had chicken quite a lot of the time, and I struggled to eat spicy foods. Felt like when and as well when you feel bloated, like you can't eat it.
Yeah,
It's like even though you haven't eaten anything, it's like you're full when you've eaten a plate of food or something when you haven't ate anything on the plate.
yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah, it's that.
yeah, yeah. It's really annoying when you feel bloated.
Yeah, yeah. It's not very nice, is it? Because you got a plate in front of you. You do want to eat it, but you can't because you're full,
Yeah,
and you're in some pain as well.
yeah, yeah. It's really discomforting.
Yeah, yeah. Um, but do you take any medication, Richard, at the moment?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
What do you take at the moment?
Okay. So I take azathioprine. Um, I take folic acid.
Okay,
Um, sorry, yeah, the azathioprine I take is 50 milligrams and the 25 milligrams.
okay,
I take iron tablets as well. I take Azacol. I'm also having vitamin D tablets as well. I take them.
yeah.
Um, yeah. Um, the vitamin D. I've been giving like these gummy vitamin Ds at the moment, and they're actually really nice, like a bit like a gummy sweet,
Oh,
if you
really?
will. Yeah, and it's actually quite popular at my workplace. I think that's where my mum got it from, and yeah, they're really nice.
All
So I'm
right.
currently having that, and as well as me medication for Crohn's.
Yeah, yeah. Because I take azathioprine too. I take vitamin D. I take I'll take vitamin D in like a tablet form. I have it like every evening. Um, because it's to help with fatigue, isn't it?
Yes.
I take I'm on Humira, so I'm on Humira injections every 2 weeks.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I forgot to mention the because you mentioned Hamira.
Yeah.
I used to be on that, but now but I was took off that. I think it was almost. I think no, I think it was. Yeah, I think it was a year ago now. So I'm on Stellara now.
Okay.
Yeah.
How are you doing with that?
Right. So I'm getting on all right, but I do have a nurse that will come round and take it for me. You know, well, I say take it for me, like they'll inject it like for me.
Okay.
Yeah. See, with the when I was on Humira, I used to get on like really fine with that. I used to inject myself with that fine, but with Stellara, it's like a both a syringe and a injection at the same time, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So
I,
the needle part of it is a bit more longer.
okay.
I think
And
that's why the when the nurse comes round to like inject it in me, that's why they have to do that really.
is it in the same place that you would have the Humira injection that they inject you?
Yeah, so I'd have it like in the top one of the top parts of my leg.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I know with Humira you can either have it in your thigh or your tummy, and I always have it in my thigh. I do. I've had it once in my tummy, and that's when the nurse did it one of the first times. I tried it out to see what I like best, and I like thigh better. Um, I guess you have more grip than your tummy. Um, but yeah. So how long have you been on the one you're on now?
Still error.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've been on that for about a year now.
Okay.
Yeah, I have to have it. I think it's every 8 weeks.
Yeah. That isn't bad. Um, I remember being on something like that kind of time frame when I was on infusion. So I had infliximab, and that was the first biologic I was on. Um,
Yeah.
and then that didn't work after a year. Had a reaction to it, and um, I was put on Humira.
Oh
But
wow. Okay.
yeah, and I'm still on it now. So it's doing something right for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the only downside of being on a bio, especially like azathioprine and a biologic, it makes my immune system very low. Um, like not very low that, especially with like catching other things.
Yeah.
Like we said at the beginning, more prone to catching different things, and like even COVID as well, with that still going around, and it's winter
Yeah.
time as well, isn't it? So
Yeah.
people are more prone to catching colds. So um, it's being careful all the time, but you know when you're out in public, and I so sometimes I'll say if you know, because you never know if someone has COVID or not now, because there's no restrictions anymore. So
Yeah.
if I'm somewhere and a person gets quite close, and I'll say you step back, and I'll say it nicely, and then uh, so some people can be understanding, but it's kind of rare, you know, and
Yeah.
like they either get offended thinking that you're being mean because you're telling them to get back, or all they say I ain't got COVID. So it's very hard when you're immunocompromised, isn't it? And just to be safe.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean that yeah, that's completely fair enough. If you ask people to step back, I mean, yeah, I mean, it is a bit rare that some people would be understanding, but I mean, you would think a lot more people would be understanding since COVID actually is still going around. But yeah, but then you get the not so understanding people who just think you're being mean when clearly you're not.
Mm,
And I mean, see, I went to I mean, I was in London for a couple of nights with one of my mates, and because we went to go watch the NFL that was taking place in London, and I think before we went, my mate rang me and we was talking about like sort of things out with London and everything, and before going to the game, and you know what we're gonna do like before and after the game, etc. etc. He said to me he was going to take a face mask because of the London Underground. I
mm,
mean, of course, obviously not just with the London Underground, but obviously with public transport. You're really close to people.
mm,
I mean, but I said to my mate, uh, I said um, when he mentioned about, he said he was going to take a face mask. Uh, I completely agreed with that idea. I said that's actually a good idea. I think I'll take mine as well because there's some people in public that will actually wear face coverings, and of course of course it's a personal choice, and
mm.
you know it's completely understandable. I can understand why people wear face coverings.
Yeah,
Um, but um, but obviously, but yeah. Unfortunately, I forgot to take my face covering, so I had to brace it without one.
Hmm. Um,
Yeah,
but when you was on like the underground, because it's very packed, isn't it? The underground.
yeah.
Did you spot many wearing a mask when you
Oh,
was there?
yeah. There was quite a few people that was wearing face masks. I think there was I think there was quite a few people wearing it on the underground. Not, I think there was more people not wearing the face coverings, but there was only quite a certain one, two, maybe three, four, five
Yeah.
people that were wearing face coverings.
It's hard because you can't really go up to someone because you don't know anything about them um because some people like are exempt for some reasons um
Yeah,
but there is there are people out there who just don't wear it um and yeah like because it's hard but I think like, the underground is very busy, isn't it? It's very packed and like how are you about like close contact and like maybe like restricted kind of space? Like, how does that like affect you?
um, well, I think like I don't know, if people have to be close, I just you know I just let it happen really. But like I think, say, if someone was speaking to me, I do take a little step back because I just I just want to like have a little bit of that space.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Because that like speaking about like transport um to London um because it's very busy, isn't it? It's one of the probably like really impactful places to be. And when you're on that transport, it kind of relates to autism as well because not everyone likes that close contact as well. And
yeah,
then it I guess for some people it's like really bad, like in your mind, um, it's like really restricted. Like you have to get to this place, but um like you hear that you might not like certain noises. You might not like the train line noise. You might not like noise in general, but like because that's the thing about autism, like we're all different, aren't we? So you
yeah,
like it's funny, because I won't like doing that, like being really close to people anyway, regardless of COVID or not. Um, but I'll go to a football match. Um,
yeah,
and people say, well, why can't you do that and you go to a football match? But football match is different, isn't it? Because you're all cheering your team on. You're not
yeah,
like entirely. You might be close in a way, but not like you're on top of each other. Um,
yeah,
which I think away games are much different than home. Like if you have your ticket for your home game, it's different. Like you can
yeah.
experience an away game. I don't know if you've done an away match before, Richard, but it's very different to a home game.
No, oh yeah, I've been to two away matches, but I don't know if you can count Wembley as an away match, but obviously, yeah, I've watched a football, obviously a football game at Wembley. Um,
Hmm.
that was quite a few years back, which was really good to go to. But yeah, so you could say two, maybe three away games, but home games I've been to many times before.
Yeah. Me too. Me too. Like I got a season ticket with the club I support, but I haven't been able to go because like of course like before they did put in place like people have to have a test at least to go in, but no you don't, and it's very more risky being vulnerable, so
Yeah,
having to weigh that stuff up. But I can watch it at home, so I'm fine.
yeah.
um
Yeah, I think you like feel comfortable when you're watching a home game, but then like I suppose with the yeah, on the way, I mean, away games just something different.
Yeah, you got to get up probably earlier than like it's routine as well. Like with being autistic, like your routine, you might have to get really early depending on where the away game is.
Yeah,
Um, depending, you might choose to stay over there if you want, if it's easier, because it isn't
yeah,
rushed. So I've been in the coach before, like at the club. Like the coach at the club would say, "Oh look, you're going to this certain club. It takes longer, so we've got to leave earlier. So maybe
yeah,
at 6 o'clock in the morning, and then you'll be
yeah,
sleeping on the coach. And then, of course, once the game finishes, we are the last out. So everyone in the stadium goes, and we're last out sometimes. So." You have to wait and then you go, which I guess is better. Like I normally go straight away
yeah,
um, when the game finishes because of like getting home and it's.
yeah,
I don't know about you, but I don't know if you weigh those things up if you're going to a football match, but
yeah.
you'll get home quicker if you leave straight away than waiting, and then you'll be in a lot of traffic home. You might be even an hour or two to get home.
Yeah. Yeah. So say when I'm at a home game, see, because I tend to go mainly with my brother, home matches, because he supports the same club I do.
Hmm.
So we tend to leave about probably 5 minutes, probably before the game ends or maybe goes into extra time, and um, it just mainly to avoid the loads of people and whatever else.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I think because I've been to two women's home. No, sorry, three home women's game. I've stayed to the very end with those, but they're not too bad because they're not as big as the men's game. The men's game you got loads of crowds, but with the women's it's just quite small.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It seems like that, but that, that they won something before the men in the Euros, so didn't they? So they
Yeah.
are doing something right. The men aren't.
Yeah,
um,
because the women's of won the Euros, and I think they're starting now to gain a bit more fan goers now.
yeah,
Yeah, well, here in the UK.
but I'm glad they won it because it's good because like the the men is more popular, of course, than the women's game, and it's nice watching them play because that like I would normally watch it. I wouldn't like watch the club maybe. You might if you support a club and then they have the women's team for the club because it's all set in that boat. But it is nice just to go to a different match, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think.
it is.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I do go to a club women's game, like because I mean the club I support, of yeah, they have a women's team, and in the WSL, and that's why I've gone out my way to go to free home women's game, and it I think it's really good. And I will go out my way and watch a game on TV. Not obviously not just with my home club. But obviously, if there's like a big game on, I will go out my way to watch it.
yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, it is nice to see another club that you don't support. Like you're just like a neutral, so you're not maybe that worried about if your own team is losing.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, definitely. Yeah, because I think like, when it comes to big games, obviously with the men's as well. That I will watch it because it's just obviously great to watch, and you got like the excitement and the build up to it, and etc. And you know. the excitement of just actually seeing, seeing the game, watching the game and the big teams play each other, and yeah, it's really good. Obviously, that as well as watching your own team as well.
Yeah, yeah. I think like with the World Cup coming, like most of us who like football will be watching most of the games, even if not England aren't playing. So it's all about like just sport and liking watching it, playing it, maybe coaching
Yeah,
it as well. Um,
yeah.
because it's good fun, like just to get involved in different things.
Oh, too, right, yeah. I mean, like the world, like you say, the World Cup. If we England aren't playing, and there's like a live game on, like for instance, like say if Germany were to play Spain, and that'd be a game I'd really want to go. I'd really want to watch on TV.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean there will be. I mean, obviously with the World Cup coming up, there will be some big countries, obviously, that will play each other. So I will want to. I'll definitely make sure I get to watch it. Well, and hopefully I can. Hopefully I can,
Yeah,
as well as
because
England, of course.
some of the times, like I think England first game's at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so they'll have a bit of some weird times on the games.
Oh yeah, because it's in Qatar now.
Yeah.
Their time's a bit different. So oh god, if it's going to be on at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I might not be able to watch it depending.
Maybe who knows? Like maybe that might be a bank holiday for a lot of people for whenever England play. Um, but who knows? If they lose, you might not miss much, but
Yeah,
uh, um, hopefully not. Fingers crossed. England do all right, Richard.
yeah, he's hoping England do really well as possible. If we get to a final, again, that'll be big, like we did in the last Euros. I mean, obviously, I'm uh, not gonna lie. It'd be quite doubtful that we would win it if we did go into a final. But it'd be nice just to be in a final, full stop, really. So
It's England though, isn't it?
at the end of the day, it is, yeah,
Yeah, and we got to a semi last time. Who knows? We might be able to go the whole way. But like you, I am pretty doubtful this time round, because the teams are a bit better since the last World Cup. Like Germany weren't to their best, Spain weren't to the best then, Holland weren't either, and yeah, I think we'll get a new winner. I don't think France will win it this time, but who knows?
yeah,
It's very unpredictable. Like you never know. It's like the Premier League, isn't it? Like it's
yeah,
so unpredictable. You don't know what's going to happen in
yeah.
football.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because it's like they say with the Premiership. They say like anything can happen in the Premiership. Yeah, and it's like with the international football. Like anything can happen. Like you say, when Spain and Germany weren't doing well in the last few competitions, it, to me it's quite shocking because like they're teams that are normally really good. I remember I think yeah, it was one of the World Cups where Brazil didn't do that well. I do believe they were playing Germany, and Germany just smashed them.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I remember
Yeah, I
that.
watched the game. I watched that game and everything. I thought, what's going on here? What's going on with Brazil?
I think they
I
were the
thought
home nation
Germany
at the
just
time.
smashed. Yeah, Germany were just smashing them up. I can't remember. I can't remember how much what the score was now. I think it was like 5-6-1, maybe. I could be wrong.
Yeah, yeah. I think we beat Germany in the Euros, didn't we? To get through. So, um,
Yeah, somehow we managed to beat them.
yeah. Fingers crossed. We at least get through a couple of the rounds. So.
Yeah, here's hoping. Just yeah, just I just can't wait for the competition to start now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
obviously we got the club football to still go on for the time being, but be a bit weird that the club football will just pause for the World Cup.
yeah, yeah, it is. It is going to be a bit weird, like a little pre-season for the Premier League, and it all with football, I think. So it'll all be paused for everyone. Um,
Oh yeah, yeah. It'd be weird and interesting at the same time.
it will, it will, it will. So with autism, do you have like with it? Because I think you said you was diagnosed at 2. Was it, Richard?
Yes, it was. Yeah.
Yeah, you was like you diagnosed at 2. Um, like w- when you was at school, like how was like school for you, Richard? Like with having autism.
It was it was a bit up and down. To be honest, like
Okay.
the my my first proper school. Well, I say proper school. My first school I was in, the teachers never really knew how to deal with me, and so I had to go to another school.
Okay.
But that didn't last very long either because again nobody knew how to deal with me, so I had to leave that school, and then uh, I had to go to another school, which is a bit. It was a bit better because it was a school for people with special needs and whatever else, and yeah, so um, that was it was a bit better, that school, and obviously I finished there at 16, and yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And like it wasn't that great for me either. I did move a couple of times. Like I went to mainstream, then that didn't work out. They wouldn't understand, and then I went to like a special educational school that has people with autism and stuff like that. Which I didn't know many people when I was younger until I went there that had autism, and now we know like there's a bigger community with other people that have autism now. So and raising
Yeah.
awareness and talking about their journeys, which is really cool because but back when I was younger, I wasn't confident enough and was always thought autism was bad and stuff like that
Yeah.
um and it's not like even now, Richard, people don't know about it, so it's good like we decide to speak about it, so raises that awareness and stuff.
Yeah, it is good to raise awareness of autism. I mean, the current workplace I'm at now, when I first started, I mean, although I would have mentioned autism because obviously the question they asked, do you have any disabilities or whatever else? I mean, obviously that's where you got to put autism and even Crohn's on the application form, and but with everybody else, I had to mask myself. And I'm trying to think how long I masked myself for. I think it was for about 14, maybe 15 years. Um, I sort of more or less unmasked myself when my workplace decided to do a disability network they've got there now.
Okay.
Yeah, and I decided to take part and mention about my autism and my Crohn's, and I thought now that I wanted to join it, and I thought this is the time to stop masking and actually more or less unmask myself.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think I did actually I did sort of unmask myself when I started permanently there. Um, I would have a mentor that would come and see me, and that's where my colleagues would find out that I've got autism when that some of them were actually educated by my um my uh tutor of well, so I forgot the name that word now. Yeah, it was like a support worker that would come and see me, and that's where they educated most of my colleagues.
Yeah, yeah, it's that. Yeah, I understand that, and
Yeah.
like you have like school can be different, I guess, for everybody. And, um, like yeah, it'll be interesting to see how things are now. I don't know if they're very different. I wouldn't have thought so because people still like in process of changing things and changing how things are done. Um, yeah, and like as well for Crohn's and autism, Richard, like people do say to us, like you don't look like you have autism, you don't look like you have Crohn's.
Yeah,
I don't know quite a lot of the time.
yeah, yeah. It's like I have had some people say to me, "Oh, I want." When you just look at some of it, like they look at me, and they're like saying, "Oh, you don't look like you come across as being autistic." And it's like, yeah, I do. So surprise kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Crohn's thing. Most of my colleagues do believe I've got Crohn's. Apart from I've had one former colleague who didn't believe I had Crohn's, and I've got a current colleague who obviously didn't believe I've got Crohn's, and I don't think he believes I've got autism, let alone
Oh yeah,
as well.
yeah. That's pretty strange, isn't it? Like they're saying that they don't believe.
Yeah,
Yeah, because why would you lie?
exactly. I like, yeah, yeah, definitely. Like, you gotta be you gotta be honest, haven't you? And you gotta say, like you gotta like keep on mentioning it until either they do get it or they just want to not believe.
Yeah, because with autism, it's hard to get a job anyway, isn't it? Like when you put autism on your on your form, and it's very hard, isn't it?
It is, especially when you go for an interview, you're just trying to think about what the right thing to say when they ask you questions.
Definitely. But
Yeah,
yeah, it's very hard because like I did go to a workplace where they had no clue what autism was, and I explained what it was and explained my Crohn's as well. Like I may need to go to toilet sometimes, and I say I struggle to ask for help because I do. Like at that time I got shy, and then eventually I left because of pandemic. I started, and then they said they've changed everything to help people who have got autism. So, and they've made it, I think, one a more smaller environment because it was quite
yeah,
big, and they actually changed it a bit. So I was informed, so that was good. It wasn't, it was good, but it was pretty not my kind of work, like for a job, like it wasn't something that I would do, but it was good. It was fun.
yeah,
Um, a bit boring, for me. Um, but yeah, I'm glad that they were able to change things. So if you go to a workplace who don't know anything at all, and then they understand, which I think everyone should be like, really. When they don't just move you on just because they don't understand or they haven't heard of something before.
yeah. Um, yeah, it can be a bit frustrating when they say they don't believe it. It's just like, well, like it's like what else do you do? Or
So
what else can you do to make them understand?
so how long has this, like, because you said that a colleague at the moment is saying that they don't believe you have Crohn's and autism. Like, how long have you, like, first of all, first question, how long have you been at the job you are at the moment, Richard?
Right. So I started at the hospital itself when I was 19, and I'd been on a 0 hour contract for 10 years. But I applied for the job I'm at now, which is a permanent position, and I managed to get it. All help with my support, uh, my 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 mentor that would come and see me.
Okay.
But yeah, so yeah, I've been at the current job role for I've been doing that for 5 years now.
Okay. And is it just recently that this colleague is saying like they don't believe you have Crohn's and autism, or has it been going on a while?
I think well he said he doesn't believe I've got Crohn's. He
Oh,
said it
Crohn's.
once or twice. I don't know about the autism bit though.
Okay, so just Crohn's for now. Um,
Yeah, it's just Crohn's for now. Yeah.
okay, and do you find it hard to respond to him saying that? But lost what to say.
Well, yeah. The only thing I've responded to him, I just said to him, well, that's you, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's all I could say to him.
yeah, because like, has he been there long? Like this colleague?
He's been with us for about 2 years, maybe coming up to three.
Okay, okay,
Yeah, he only works with us 2 days a week currently, so
okay.
which isn't too bad, but yeah,
Yeah, it's not nice. Like, they shouldn't. It, like, if he doesn't understand what Crohn's is. Like he shouldn't be saying stuff like that. Even if he does understand what Crohn's is, like which I would have thought he doesn't really if he's saying I don't believe you have it, because let's put my I've put my mind into his mind for a minute. So
yeah,
I'm your colleague,
yeah,
and possibly you might go to the toilet
yeah,
a lot, maybe
yeah,
it, in your job. And then
yeah,
in his mind, he thinks because you're going to toilet a lot, you're getting out of doing the job. So
yeah,
in his mind, he's thinking, hang on a minute, he's faking his Crohn's because he doesn't want to be here and he doesn't want to do the job, so he can get out. So and the workplace understands that
yeah,
he has the Crohn's and if he needs the toilet, he can go as much as he can, as much as you need to. So that's what I'm thinking. If that's the case, but those kind of circumstances. Maybe that's why he said the two times rather than saying, "Why are you doing that?" or and then you say because of your Crohn's, or if he doesn't understand what Crohn's is, he could ask, like, "Can you tell me a bit more?" rather than just making assumptions, like saying that you're not believing, like doesn't believe you,
yeah,
if you know what I mean.
yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah,
Yeah, because yeah, it's not nice, Richard. That isn't. Um, But I've heard not. I'd say so. Not. I haven't been told that, but when you use a disabled toilet, and I used it, and I got a just can't wait card.
oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and I used it, and um I like there's a lady outside with a wheelchair, um and then I think yeah, the wheelchair, and then I don't have a wheelchair, but I do have hypermobility, so I struggle with my joints and stuff like that. And I've had
yeah,
that's put on with Crohn's as well. But I did have it before I was diagnosed too. And you get a dirty look from the person in the wheelchair because
yeah,
maybe I was a little while, and then I didn't say anything. I just walked past them because I didn't have to explain myself because I know what they're going to say. They're probably going to say, "I'm in a wheelchair. I need to use it." And
yeah,
although, yeah, you do, you might need to use it because you're in a wheelchair. But people who don't, I know some people use it for just for the sake of using it sometimes, don't they? Because
yeah,
maybe the public ones aren't available for some reason, and you really need to go. I understand people do that, but some people do use it for the pure reason that they are disabled.
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'll tell you a funny story, Richard. Um,
Yeah,
Ed Sheeran was doing a concert a few years ago.
Yeah.
I think I went to the one in maybe 2018 or 2019 before
Yeah.
pandemic. And I know that the toilets would be hard to like those, those little ones that you go in at concerts. The little like the little you get them at car boot sales as well. That like that you go into those little ones there.
Uh,
Um,
yeah,
yeah,
the portable ones.
yeah, the portable ones. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to use it because sometimes you've got to wait half a year for someone to get out. No offense to them, but I just wanted to use a toilet. So I went to McDonald's.
Yeah.
I went to McDonald's and there was a massive queue going out the door.
Yeah.
Massive queue going out the door. So I always laugh because it's quite funny. Um,
Yeah.
I walk down there like I'm a royal.
Yeah.
Um, and people are using all the toilets there, and I have my card in case someone asks me. I'll get all these looks, and then I go into the stable toilet, and people are looking like, hang on, you just skipped the whole entire queue, and of course the card isn't law, which it'd be nice if it was law,
Yeah.
but I guess if it was law, we'd be using it everywhere,
Yeah.
which is good, but yeah, so I use that, which I find it funny because like I just know the looks. I get a look because they think, why are you using that? Get into the queue. So that is quite funny.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess yeah, that is that bit of a funny story there. I think I may have had one, maybe two dirty looks when I've used a disabled loo. But I mean, like, but I just obviously I just walked on by, not even feeling like I need to explain myself. So,
Yeah,
yeah, because I too have got I can't wait to go card. I've even got a radar key as well.
yeah, I do too. Yeah,
Oh, awesome!
yeah. I went on holiday. Where do I want to go? Wales. I went Wales a couple. It would have been August. It might have been September. Yeah, it
Yeah,
was. It was September time. Don't matter when it is, but um,
yeah,
um, I went. The toilets that you can use the radar to keys, but that they also, the ones that people go in and have to pay money. Um,
oh yeah,
those ones, and I was thinking to myself, if someone that had like a disability or an illness really desperately need to go and they don't have the money for it, it's not
yeah,
very good um
no,
for them. And lucky I had the radar key, but people were wanting to use the radar toilet because for the radar key toilet you didn't have to pay, so that was good. But on the other
yeah,
hand, I don't entirely agree about paying to use a loo
yeah,
when it's our human rights to go for a wee
yeah.
or something. um, do you agree, Richard?
Oh yeah, I couldn't agree more. The last time I encountered going to toilets where you had to pay was actually in one of the I think it was one of the in the London Underground stations in London, and I thought, and I approached it and I was like, no, I'd rather wait. I, I said to my mate, I said, no, you gotta pay one. I was like, no, I'm sorry, I'm not doing that. I'd rather wait to like find a toilet that's nearby, or just wait to get back to the hotel. And I think it was sometime in the evening. I think it was our first day there, and like we just, I was like, no, like no, I'm not using a toilet that you got to pay. It's like, no. And he's like going, oh, if you really need to go, oh, I've got some money. I was like, no, don't, no, no. Said, no, I can wait. I can just about survive until we get back to the hotel, or if we find a toilet that's free to use beforehand.
Yeah, it's not good, is it? Like the as well as like places that just do staff only toilets as well. Um,
Yeah,
there's some places that do that, um, which and like I've approached one of them before, and I've used a staff toilet to show them I just can't wait card, and I said I'll go to I might have to go toilet on your floor, I won't make it, or something like that. Which and then when they say that, they're like, oh yeah, use it. Um, but yeah, like there's occasionally I was on holiday and I did need a toilet and I did pay to use it and like which which was all right and but like you say like sometimes when there's a paid toilet down the road there'll be one that you don't have to pay for.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely, yeah,
Yeah, definitely. Um,
yeah. I just don't agree with paid toilets. Just not right.
it's not, is it? And I know like we're in this day and age now where a lot of things are more expensive. And when you say London, I think that's ridiculous because London's expensive as it is, and then they have
It is.
and then they have a paid toilet you got to pay for. That's silly.
Yeah, but yeah, it is. It's stupid and yeah, against human rights as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So before we finish, Richard, because it's been really fun talking to you about Crohn's, autism, hobbies, a few about toilets towards the end there. Um,
Yeah.
is there any advice about autism or Crohn's or that you want to say? Before we finish?
Oh, never really. Yeah, never really thought about mentioning about advice. I think with Crohn's, I think like I suppose if you're the only advice is if you've got Crohn's and you know try like make sure you apply for a can't wait to go card because and which with the Crohn's and Colitis UK you you know you get a obviously not only do you get a can't wait to go card, you get a radar key and that can help you massively.
Yeah.
I think with the yeah and yeah, because if you're desperate to go to loo, you know, it just saves you waiting around and maybe possibly a denial and waiting in queues, etc.
Yeah.
So, I think with the autism one, I think like you know, if I suppose if someone doesn't understand your autism, I think the best advice I could say is just walk away and you
Mhm.
know there's also I've got a one of those sunflower lanyards where it's got I am autistic, and my advice would be to maybe get one of those with you with it saying I'm autistic because I think like because that can help a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. They are very useful.
Yeah,
I got a lanyard was saying like keep 2 meters back. I'm in like compromise, so as well for like just keeping back in COVID times still.
yeah.
So lanyards are very helpful and cards as well, which help us and just keep that bit safer and just being respectful. I think it leads down to. I think.
Oh, too right. Yeah,
Yeah. One last thing, Richard, because I know we spoke a little bit about football today as well. Shall we tell each other who we support? Uh, do you think?
yeah.
Yeah. Who's your team?
My team's Aston Villa.
Yeah. Yeah. They just got a new like they a new manager, didn't they? So I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. Unai Emery. Yeah, he's done really well. First game, like when we played Man U, uh, day and like not gonna lie, I expected Man U to beat us. I mean, but no, we just smashed Man U 3-1
Mm,
um and I mean had we lost that game, I wouldn't have blamed Unai Emery. I mean, like I'm not. Plus, also to be quite honest, I wasn't really happy with Unai Emery joining to begin with. But I thought I might as well just give him a chance. But first game, no, he's done really well. He did something right against Man U, and of course we've got him again in the cup this Thursday, which I'll be watching. So I suppose if Man U do beat us, then I'm not really going to be that bothered because it's a cup game, and I'd rather just concentrate on the league. But it'd be nice if we can beat them again and progress a bit, progress on to the next round in the League Cup.
Yeah, yeah, it's great that they're doing well, and he wants to win himself a cup, I think, and to get into the European football also at some stage. So things
Yeah,
are
here's hoping.
yeah, for things looking better, I guess, for Villa now. Um, I think. So my team, I grew up watching Manchester United, and
Okay.
I grew up watching them, and I went to the game when when Wayne Rooney gave that ball to Robin van Persie, that good volley when they last won the league. So
Yeah,
I with Sir Alex Ferguson, and I went to that game and had a tour and everything. So I always like to see them do well. But my team I support is Ipswich. Um, like I support Ipswich Town, and yeah, so like that's who I was talking about having the season ticket with earlier.
yeah, okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, yeah, doing it right at the moment. Quite doing well in the league, and had a good win in the cup as well. But in the FA Cup because it's the early rounds for like I guess the League One kind of sides. So yeah, so
Yeah,
yeah, and we've played each other before at Aston Villa, and Ipswich when we were both in the Championship. So we know each other well.
yeah, we oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, so Richard, thank you. It's been great speaking to you. Fingers crossed for England for the
Yeah,
World Cup.
yeah,
Um,
definitely, yeah.
yeah, and great speaking to you. And we made a good friendship together. We both got Crohn's and autism, so
Yeah,
there we go.
no worries of coming on. It's been great to come on and have this chat. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So thanks again, Richard.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, no worries.